Welcome to Superhero Club Presents The Boys After Show, your one-stop shop on Prime Video YouTube for all things Season 3 of The Boys. I am your co-host, KB, and I am joined by my forever fave, Stephanie Williams. Hey, girl, hey.
Whew. Hey. Who was right? Because, wow. If you thought things were crazy in episode 5, wow, does episode 6 take that? And it's not even a hold my beer situation. It is a hold my gin and tonic. Actually, hold my hurricane.
Oh, I was about to say it's hold your keg, maybe. Like, I think it just means like leaders.
You know what?
And leaders.
Hold my Everclear.
Ooh, no. Okay, now, not you trying to end your life the way, you know, they end people on The Boys left and right. Like, not Everclear. Please don't take me back to the college days.
Yeah, let's go on back, because that is the severity of this. I was about to call it an issue. My God. Well, it could be the comic issue, to be honest, and we'll get into that later. But wow, issues. Wow. Episode 6.
Episode 6. That's
so
all we
much.
Can say.
Yes.
So much blood, so much, well, I don't know. I gotta feel like that's every episode now. We are becoming a bit desensitized, I feel like.
I told you. So, like, if you go back to episode 4, when I said that I felt that way after those first 3 episodes, I feel that way even more so now. But I was still very shook. So,
yeah, let's, before we get into it, because 6, aka Herogasm, before we get into episode 6, let's take a look at what happened on episode 5. Let's roll that previously on footage.
With great power comes the absolute certainty that you'll turn on the right.
We got everything under control.
An explosion rocked Midtown Manhattan.
Soldier Boy. And what you gonna do when you find them? You need us.
You shot up an untested drug from Vought.
Nino.
A classified lab destroyed. 3 of my contacts disappeared. Plus, you were the one who based the debt.
Black Lives Matter. Two lives matter. Stop.
Nathan will never walk again.
What the f?
Crimson Countess. Your lover boy's on his way out.
How much did the Russians pay you?
They didn't.
I loved you.
I hated you. We all did. You're teaming up with a murderer. Please don't go.
Whoa.
Stephanie, how are you feeling?
Things are getting really bad. And I feel like that is an understatement, because things have been bad since episode 1, season 1. But no. Things are escalating in a way that I am scared for everyone. I'm actually a little scared for Homelander, because he is spiraling in a way that makes things even more complicated for everyone involved, including himself. And I don't know if it's going to, by the time we get to the season finale, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, before I thought maybe, but now I'm just like, WTF. The fact that Soldier Boy is out here and is infinitely worse than Homelander, in ways that maybe Homelander isn't so bad. And that sounds terrible to say, right? Because that sounds like, and I say that not in good faith, but because all I know is that everybody better pray that Homelander and Soldier Boy don't team up, because each of them by themselves are just a lot. But together, we are talking about extinction level trouble. Like, it will be like the dinosaurs are probably looking like, you thought the asteroid was bad.
Everyone is spiraling. High key, I have said this, I've alluded to it. I can say it now. I high key think Huey is a V drug addict now. Like, I'm like, sir, you're really actually kind of giving me the signs of being addicted to this temp V, which I'm still gonna put in quotes, because y'all still actually don't know the long-term effects. Like, not y'all haven't actually, allowed the scientists to truly do their jobs and figure out what this could mean. So I feel like he's an addict now, and I feel like Butcher actually is handling it a bit better now. Like, in the beginning, I felt like he was spiraling, but this episode, just the dynamic and the power struggle between him and and their friendship and the betrayal in the long term. Butcher was fairly clear-headed, which I was kind of that Butcher actually making sense. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. Maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe since, Butcher and Maeve had a little thing in episode 5, maybe that helped bring Butcher back down to reality in some ways. I don't know, because in this episode, he and were, I was like, not you being the voice of reason just for like 5 minutes. Okay.
Him being the voice of reason for 5 minutes. And also, just to your point about Soldier Boy, at least his rage or whatever is specifically directed at folks who have wronged him. So definitely, but I guess when I say that he is worse than Homelander, it is definitely on a power set type of situation. So if that were to turn and he goes from, oh, I just want to like deal with the people that I felt wronged me, to let me turn this on everyone else, then we are all in for a bad time. But Blue Hawk, yikes. But also, okay, you know what? Because there's a moment that I want to talk about. So actually, let's get into standout. Like, what were standout moments for you?
So here's the thing, and I've said this week after week. A-Train really is really probably about to get his black card revoked. Like mostly week after week, I'm disappointed. Like, A-Train, what is the truth? Now, high key, this week, I too was like, now Black Noir, don't make us snatch yours too. Now, not both of y'all out here really just don't know what's happening. We could take yours too. But A-Train finally had some words for Miss Ashley. And I'm like, thank you, because high key, Ashley needs to die. Like, that sounds so terrible, but there's really no way for her to come back from the path that she's going down. And really, truly, I don't really see life for her, like past this season. And that sounds awful, but it's just, she's making these moves like she's a soup. And I'm like, now girl, they can snap you in half tomorrow. So you probably want to like protect yourself a little bit more. But Ashley is on her power trip. She is like, I'm trying to rise to the top of Vought and, be the CEO that I always dreamed of. And she is really, really neglecting everyone. And sound mind and sound decision. So, I can't say I'm mad at A-Train. This is probably the one responsible thing that he's starting to do this season, where I really like, okay, A-Train, like, when are we going to come to terms with the fact that, like, you've been hella problematic this season and you need to switch it up. So I think, finally our boy got a little bit of sense this one time. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and like roll that clip real quick of him coming to Ashley about whatever the hell happened. When Blue Hulk showed, not Blue Hulk. Wow, Blue Hulk would actually be very terrible.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, wait a minute, this is too much. We don't need that energy. Like,
no, we don't, because Blue Hawk is same.
What
same
are his powers? What are Blue Hawk's powers? Because mostly I just feel like rage. Right.
Like, rage and racism and bullets. So, but anyway, let's roll that clip because
even the greatest trees must grow from a single seed. Follow one proud black man's journey to the root of his roots as he takes the A-Train to Africa.
Hey, it looks great. Man, there's so much strength and dignity.
What are you doing about Blue Hawk?
Okay, first of all, everyone at Vought is just heartbroken over your brother's tragic accident.
It wasn't an accident. Blue Hawk went apeshit for no reason.
Well, he said he felt threatened.
Threatened?
Mm-hmm.
By what? A room full of black people with no superpowers?
Look, I've scheduled him for 12 weeks of sensitivity training.
That, I want charges brought.
Okay, A-Train, persecuting Blue Hawk will only make things worse. This is a time for healing.
I don't give a shit. I thought we got rid of the Nazis around here.
Vought rejects racism and Nazism unequivocally, okay? Now, can we talk about this later? I have a lot going on today. Thank you.
Here's my thing. Don't bring the continent into this, A-Train. Do not bring your drama to Africa, please.
Okay.
Truly, leave that exactly where it is. You know, something that's really, really getting me is just this need for acceptance overpowering his common sense. I'm like, I cannot continue down this path. So, you know, it really is unfortunate that it had to take a tragedy that directly impacted him in his brother getting hurt for him to actually open up his eyes. Like, A Train.
So moving on from A Train, who is a mess, someone else that I've mentioned quite frequently who is just crumbling right before our eyes, and that is Homelander. And he has like this moment with his reflection that really reminded me of Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin. And if you're familiar with those two, then you know that this went it went left very quickly. And
I did not get that. I'm glad that you said that, because I didn't get that. It was really giving me, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but it was really giving me like that Homelander v. Homelander was giving me Batman versus Superman, but better.
So
I was like, not this great BVS, like, because that was not good. But I truly was like, oh, okay, he could do this by himself. Truly, I was thinking to myself, Anthony is really acting down. Like,
oh my
truly.
God, yes. He was acting his behind off, but actually, let's not even talk about it anymore. Let's actually watch that clip.
Why the long face, Tiger?
What if I can't handle him? I mean, if Noir ran...
Oh, you can handle him. You're the top of the food chain. Hey. When we were kids, alone in the bedroom, I got us through it, right? Don't I always?
Always.
No matter what. And now, I'll get us through this, just as long as you and me stick together.
What if Edgar's right? What if it was a mistake to take over Vought, and then I am just talented and they all know I'm a fraud?
Now, what do you care what a bunch of mud people think? Come on. Tell me the real reason. I want to hear you say it. Say it!
Want them to love me.
Yahtzee!
Only it never seems to work out, does it?
Madeline, Maeve, Stormfront, even your own son. So why do you keep running headfirst into the same brick wall? I don't know. Pants on fire, you know. It's because deep down there's a part of you that is still human.
No.
Part of you is. A dirty, shriveled, anemic little part of you that still mules for approval and love and a mommy and a daddy and a boo-hoo-hoo. Look at me, Tiger. Look at me. We gotta cut that part of you out like a cancer. And then, well then, my boy, you can finally be who you were always meant to be. Pure. Clean.
Again, Anthony Starr is acting his ass off in that little monologue, that clip, whatever you want to call it, but just wow.
Yeah, I think it just speaks to, you know, we've talked about how Homelander's personality is truly his biggest downfall, right? Like, this need for affection and to be loved is just the biggest thing that's going to get him in a bind. And as we see as this episode progresses, the more that he wants to be loved and the more that he wants this attention, the more that he stays in his head. And I think that causes him to make, you know, these terrible decisions. Like, he's not quite thinking as calculated as he should be because he's still just inside his head all the time, 24/7. And, you know, it's hard because we still don't know where Maeve is. So, like, what's the truth, sir? Like, why you out here got my girl on a milk carton? Like, truly, where is she? Honestly, like, what happened with her? You already killed Supersonic, you know, this overdose. So it's just like, in my personal opinion, he's still throwing a lot of tantrums, but he's not playing the long game. Like, Stan kept telling him, you do a lot of this thing where you just get upset and you just throw all these balls in the air at one time, but you're not really thinking about the long-term impacts, and you're not really thinking about what's the long-term, like, what do I want in the end? And so now that he doesn't really have that protection, because high-key, I don't think Ashley is doing a good job of protecting him the way Stan did. Like, in terms of, like, you know, being close to my thought. Like, she's trying, but she's not. So I'm like, what's the truth, Homelander? Like, where are we headed? Because I don't think even he knows. And I think that's the biggest issue with him this season.
Yeah, and it's really becoming increasingly clear that an insecure soup is a scary soup. Even more so than one that is secure in what they want and what they feel that they need. So Homelander is probably, I don't know, even more terrifying in that way, because, like, if he fully crumbles, what does that look like? And I have a feeling that we'll get to that before the season is over.
But I do have to ask you, because, you know, a lot of these characters have been getting on my nerves. What character aggravated you the most this episode, and who do you feel like you have your eye on now?
So again, it's gonna have to be Huey. Aggravated me the most, for an assortment of reasons, but really more so because of this position that he has, I guess, put Starlight in. Or you know what? No, I take that back. From what he is expecting of her. It's just very unfair and also selfish at the same time. Because you, like, baby, you just got here. She was raised in this. So she would understand a little bit more so than you do, this whole superheroing type of thing. And, like, I get it. Huey is still wanting revenge for what happened to his girlfriend, but he is letting it rule him in a way that is actually making him take the place of Butcher, before he was able to you know, find the love of his life again, and we know how that ended up. So Huey definitely aggravated me. And then as far as character to watch for, I said this is going to change every single episode, and again it has changed, and it's gone back to which is a character that I wanted to watch for the first episode of this show. But it's back on because I don't know, like, I see this alliance growing between him and Starlight, which is really intriguing for several reasons. But the fact that he now knows, like, what, like, where he stands with Butcher, and also where Butcher stands when it comes to, you know, his dedication to either getting rid of Homelander, and how he wants to team up with Soldier Boy, and doing so and allowing Soldier Boy to go about, you know, nixing people off his list. I don't know, like, I'm really interested in, like, what is going to happen with because he feels like an X Factor. Starlight feels like an X Factor in whatever the season finale will be.
When it comes to characters to watch, I say Starlight is the character to watch. You know, our girl is on a journey of self-healing, reflection. She is looking for her friend Maeve. She feels wildly guilty about what happened to Alex, aka Supersonic, which high key she should, because it was definitely kind of her fault for, like, bringing him into the fold too quickly and not really, like, protecting him in that way. But she has to get over that. You know, his death is definitely not on her hands. That's definitely all Homelander. And I think that she has to forgive herself and figure out how to move forward. And I don't know, you know, it's feeling like a new team is going to emerge, and she might be the leader. You know, right now it feels like where we should be unified, and the goal should be to get rid of Homelander, and everyone should do that. That's not really working out. So I'm curious to see, kind of, because now it seems like we still splitting off into separate teams, because not everyone is just agreeing with the way, you know, Butcher's doing leadership, or the way that Homelander's doing leadership, or the way that, you know, Soldier Boy is doing his revenge plot. Like there are so many different things. So yeah. I think she's gonna be the one to watch for me. I mean, especially because my initial one to watch already died. So what is the truth?
Just real quick, and I thought we'd be remiss not to bring up Frenchie and Kamiko because again, like everybody's got like their own little things going on. Kamiko might have possibly, it looks like she lost her powers. So, you know, what does that look like? And then like, yeah.
I mean, last episode, you know, she lost her power. She's in the hospital trying to heal. She's thrilled, by the way, because
absolutely.
The guilt has been eating her up. But I was just like, what is it? No one's asking the question that I need to know, which is what happened? Like, what is it about Soldier Boy's radioactivity that causes this? It's like, nobody's asking that question. And I'm kind of like, well, wouldn't this be possible for everyone who has V? Like, I'm curious. Like, when he goes off and he detonates, essentially, like, why is this not impacting everyone who has V in them? Like, I need to know that. Like, what is the truth?
So because I know like I'm gonna skip ahead here because I want to immediately get to my speculation on this. Okay. So if I can just go ahead and do that, and I'm so sorry, y'all. But so like my theory on that is that whatever the Russians were doing as far as their experimentations and stuff on him is treating him kind of like what is it EP or like EMP wave, or what is it, like the electromagnetic pulse that kind of like, you know, gets rid of all electronics and all of those things. So like, would appease that for Soups? Because that would be beneficial, right? Because like if at the time when they captured him in the Crimson, I was trying to call her the Crimson
Tide, and I was like, no,
it was going to be worse. I was going to call her the Crimson Vagina. So there's that for reasons, and if you watched, then you know why. But anyway, when she sold him out the river to the Russians, and there was still like, if the Soups were going to join the military and all these things, like that would be beneficial for a country to have a superhero that could effectively neutralize other Soups. So that is my speculation there, as far as like how his powers work, or if those were the plans when he was being held in Russia and being experimented on. And if you think about it, that is actually a pretty interesting and cool concept in terms of like this world, Vought, and all of that. Like, yeah, like you don't need any nukes or anything like that. You have actual superheroes who operate in the same, who can cause the same devastation, if not worse, than a nuclear bomb. You just wouldn't have the radiation fallout. So that is just like me jumping ahead in my speculations on like what is going on with that and the loss of Kamiko's powers, and if she'll get them back, because is it temporary or is it permanent?
My speculation for next episode is we gonna catch Homelander in the bathroom crying.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I just feel like, you know, something that has been building up, and I've been asking since episode 1, when are we going to just kind of get Homelander versus Soldier Boy? That's what my heart desires. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like Homelander is in such a bad mental state that we are truly going to see him have a mental breakdown. That's my speculation. Like, he is truly kind of at the end. I mean, I kind of feel like that, you know, BVS moment was really kind of his mind truly being like, no, we are not okay. We are not okay. We are not okay. And I think that when that happens, some other things will start to crack.
Wow, I'm episode 7, y'all. Just trying to get ready. And I guess for Easter eggs, if there are any, the biggest Easter of them all is in the title of the episode, Herogasm. That is directly from the comics. Everything that Herogasm in itself and how it's presented is from the comics. So do with that what you will. That is the only Easter egg that's the only one really honestly worth mentioning, because whoa,
No. Don't forget who's back.
Oh my gosh. Who is back?
You know who back? Who popped up at Herogasm? And I'm glad that we could talk about this. Fresco
Shrinking
is
Man.
back.
My God, yes. Not me, sure. Yes, Fresca is back. And was back in a very interesting way between the conversation that Victoria and Starlight had. And that Victoria took out the was the
Head
leader
of the Church Collective.
So you are so right. How did I forget about Fresca? See, you know why? Because Herogasm, I mean, just pretty much erased everything else in my brain. To be honest, I'm very surprised that I remember my name.
Well, first off, we clearly need Fresca to sponsor this show. And then, that will be the only thing that makes sense. But yes, you are right. Shrinking Man is back. And I wonder how that's going to play out since, Victoria said she couldn't do anything about it. And we needed to just keep him since he was like a C-list soup. And it was like, okay, girl. So I want to know how that's going to play out. But also, you know what? All I can say about Herogasm is Eric and the writer's room. The way that you guys keep pushing boundaries that I thought existed, and they clearly do not. Every single time, I don't even know how I'm still surprised, and yet Herogasm popped up in all of its glory, and Huey popped up in a silk robe, and I died. So truly, I truly was like, what is the truth? But also, where can I buy this peach silk robe? Because it is also cute.
I mean, it was real cute.
I was like, please.
It was cute.
Please tell me more. Yeah. We got a lot for next episode. I feel like we have a lot for next episode. That's gonna occur. So
I'm preparing my
final
spirit
words.
now.
I know. That's why I was like, any final words? Because it's gonna get crazy next episode.
I don't even know. Like, we have 2 episodes left, so I think my final words are to just get yourself ready. I don't know how you do that, but just try to get ready. I would say go read the comic, but even then, it's just been really amazing to see how they've transformed that into what we have now, and just wow. So I don't know, hold your wig down, get your Fresca, and just get ready to get turned upside down, because we have got 2 episodes left of season 3 of The Boys, and I just know that things are going to get infinitely more wild.
I think things are going to get stressful, and that's really it.
And that is it. Well, I guess that is it for us. I'll go ahead and do my social plugs. If you are a comic book reader, I'm still saying, hey, go check out Nubia Queen of the Amazons, #1, and also DC Pride for Nubia's story and that. And follow me on all social media. You can see some more of my reactions for The Boys. Follow me there on either Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram at Steph_I_Will. And let me just hand it off to you, KB, because now my mind is just in spin cycle thinking about the last 2 episodes. I'm stressed.
Yes. Well, rest your mind. You can follow me on social, the Lady KB, TheLadyKayB, Instagram and Twitter. I finally have an update. So my brand new show on iHeart will be premiering this fall in September. It is called On Call with KB. And I'm going to be diving into the wildest, craziest episodes of medical TV dramas and medical TV comedies too. In the first season, we are doing Grey's Anatomy. So the very first episode of my show is going to premiere with the new season premiere of Grey's Anatomy. And so we will let you know as fall gets closer what that exact date will be and on that fateful Thursday in September. But super excited about that. And so you can follow me on social for more, because because I can't wait for everyone to hear the show and to hear what I've been working on for what feels like an eternity, but really probably like the last 8-9 months of my life. So yes, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe to the Prime Video YouTube channel right now so you don't miss an episode of Superhero Club Presents The Boys After Show.